All right, last but not least, this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, which I think by the end of this weekend was the most controversial show of the week, mostly because of that last segment.
Why?
So we'll jump it. We'll get into that. We'll save that for the very end. Richard, just initial thoughts on SmackDown this week.
I mean, I enjoyed the entire show.
Okay.
And I mean, not to skip ahead, but I enjoyed Retribution for reasons that are different than yours.
Okay.
Because I know you didn't like it.
No. No. So
I've got an explanation for it.
Well,
I've got an explanation for it because I have been watching it more closely than I should be.
Okay. Man. Okay. Well,
but I thought the matches on SmackDown were really good. From Riddle and Sheamus was really good.
Yeah.
Cesaro and Lince Dorado is like, that's how you do a 5-minute TV match.
Yep.
And I really enjoyed the Fiend Alexa Bliss thing. I don't know where they're going with Alexa Bliss in this, but she's playing it so well.
Yeah. Okay. So let's run down this real quick. So we saw the Bray Wyatt opening segment, Firefly Funhouse, and he said, pretty much challenging Braun, like, I want what you want. He wants the Universal Championship, and he's going to let the Fiend out to just go crazy on the roster. Very much like carrying Cross to NXT is what the Fiend is to SmackDown, kind of feels like. And then, as you said, Matt Riddle versus Sheamus. Chad Gable came out, who I guess officially a heel now, using the King's Ransom from King Corbin, and just attacked Matt Riddle. Sheamus got mad, and it's like heel getting mad at another heel. And then, that was not the end of their night. They continue on later on. The Dirt Sheet segment with Miz and Morrison. Oh, that was painful. Just the whole fake Mandy Rose mop hair or wig, and them trying to like be like mimes, or no, not mimes, puppeteers. It was, oh my God.
So bad, but more every time Morrison opens his mouth, I crack up.
Yeah, no, Morrison,
he says some of the stupidest shit, and I love it.
And then, what saved that segment was Sonya Deville. She came out, and I love the emotion. Like, she is like doing a great job on the microphone. I loved it. So she's really helped selling this new rivalry between her and Mandy. So.
She's been underrated for a long time because, quite frankly, the best match I've seen Asuka in was a house show in San Jose for NXT. It was Sonya Deville against Asuka.
Oh, really?
And it was just like, yeah, and it was just kind of like where did this come from?
Yeah,
you know, like she was having good matches on NXT at the time, but she had like a 15-20 minute match with Asuka that was a lot more competitive than Asuka was giving people on TV at the time.
I always felt kind of bad for Sonya as far as she has the actual MMA background. She came to NXT and stuff. She was playing up the MMA gimmick, and she got the main roster, and she was still doing the MMA thing. And then unfortunately, Ronda Rousey came to the picture, and she kind of overshadowed that. And she became...
I mean, come on, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can't blame them.
No, not at all.
I'm sure they had plans for her, and it just, you know, like, well, we got this now.
Yeah, totally. So no, it was great. It became, I think it was great for Sonya as far as she recreate herself, change her gimmick a little bit. So she's not so much like MMA emphasis. She's just more of just a badass character now, and I think that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for, and we saw them get more involved later on. As you say, Cesaro, and Lince Dorado, awesome. Just what else can you say? The Fiend segment. So I was just kind of confused. He comes out to the ring, and all of a sudden Alexa Bliss appears in the middle of the ring. She looks the same as last week's episode, like hair, makeup, outfit. So I just wondered, did they just film this last week? Like they just all right, Fiend, Alexa Bliss, you're here already. Let's just film this second part for next week's episode.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because it was the only thing that kind of stood out to me. I almost felt like she should have come out looking like she was wearing clothes that hadn't been folded, and just kind of like
disheveled,
not as fresh as she did. Yeah.
Hair's
not perfect.
Makeup's a little worn down. Yeah, it looked like because that's the thing. It's like, are we supposed to believe she's been like a hostage or kidnapped for the last week?
Yeah.
So yeah, you should look a little more frightened, worn down, clothes a little more beaten up, whatever. Yeah, I think so.
Like, a little less clothes.
Yeah. So we saw Braun Strowman come on the big screen, and I was confused. Like, okay, he said, he survived the swamp match, and now he's become the monster he didn't want to be or something. And he said he didn't care about Alexa Bliss. So it's like, okay, so was that whole Sister Abigail / Alexa Bliss segment at the swamp match was for nothing then? And it's like, he's supposed to be the baby face here, and he's like, it's a heel promo saying he doesn't care about Alexa Bliss. And it's like, dude, she's kidnapped by the Fiend. Like, how dare you talk crap about her?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's confusing.
You're right.
So, like, at this point, I don't know. Like, but she was able to put the hand up and stop the Fiend from another mandible claw. So does she have, like, a power over the Fiend? She's the good girl.
Of course, look at her.
She's the princess. We'll take him out. Take out evil.
Because it's really, this is going off of Braun's promos and then the Firefly Funhouse, but I feel like Alexa Bliss is kind of making it for me at this point, because we've already seen Braun and Bray, and now you've thrown in this third party who's wouldn't be doing anything right now. So, and Alexa Bliss is like, a living Disney princess, so she's just in this nightmare situation where she's between this giant monster of a man and then literally a monster behind her. So it's like, I don't know. I'm enjoying her acting traits there, and we shall see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what her role is in this storyline moving forward. So it's obviously they're not building up to a match at SummerSlam. So I think her role moving forward is going to be help finishing out the storyline. Maybe she's going to be the one that helps Braun defeat the Fiend at SummerSlam, or the fact that she has control over the Fiend. Maybe she helps the Fiend defeat Braun Strowman as payback for him not saying, I don't care about Alexa Bliss. So she's becoming like a wild card now in this situation. So that's going to be interesting. So yeah, we'll keep our eye peeled for that. It's I think Fiend's going to get the title back. Early predictions. And I just unfortunately just felt Braun's title reign was just kind of blah. Like, so I don't know. We'll just keep seeing. Well. Oh well. At least he got a title finally. He's no longer the Susan Lucci of pro wrestling. So, all right. And then next up, we saw King Corbin take on Jeff Hardy. But Payback, Sheamus came out, attacked. And then ultimately it was King Corbin versus Sheamus. So I'm confused. Is Sheamus becoming a babyface here, or is it heel versus heel now? It's very rare that we see heel get mad at another heel. But nonetheless, it's Corbin taking on Sheamus now. So are they like... I don't know. They both don't like Jeff Hardy, so it's like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I don't know. I'm confused now. What's going on here?
It definitely felt like, based off of the interview earlier in the show with Corbin, Sheamus, and then that new girl who I don't think they even introduced, that Sheamus was showing signs of babyface attributes, and then. Coming out later, he's still brogue kicked Jeff Hardy, but like he's after Corbin now. So, Corbin. I think it's it's going to lead to probably at SummerSlam on the pre-show, some sort of 6-man tag with Jeff Hardy, Matt Riddle, and Corbin or Sheamus against Corbin,
Chad Gable,
and who?
We'll figure out. Someone else is going to go for the ransom, King's ransom. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm just kind of confused. So I think for anyone listening right now, keep your eye out on Sheamus. Is he going to start becoming more and more a babyface? It's been a minute since he's been a babyface. So if he does, hopefully get his old theme song too back in as well. And then we saw Sasha Banks and Bayley. They were summoned to come to the ring to talk to Stephanie McMahon, who was on a green screen on the big screen, and pretty much says, hey, congrats, you guys got all the gold, but you did it by, cheating and just doing bad things. And ultimately, what is leading to is Bayley taking on Asuka on Raw this week. And if Asuka wins, she takes on Sasha at SummerSlam. And then on the next SmackDown, it's going to be 3 brands. Is it a women's battle royal?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to see people from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT competing, and the winner will take on Bayley at SummerSlam. So I'm kind of excited for the battle royal because you're going to get NXT involved, and I think that's cool that they're incorporating NXT into this storyline for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Any kind of early predictions who you think might be appearing for NXT on this? It says people that Bayley and Sasha have pissed off in the past recently. So
everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
I can't even venture to guess because they had that they defended the tag team titles against Dakota Kai and somebody, but I think they were also jaw-jacking with people backstage on that show. So
Sasha took on Io at Great American Bash, if I remember correctly.
I don't think we're going to get Io and Sasha.
She's the champion. She's going to be busy with Dakota Kai the night before.
I think they're probably going to throw in 5 people from each show.
Rhea Ripley probably, hopefully maybe gets involved. And maybe this is ultimately what it is. Dakota Kai got the win on NXT this week, so Rhea Ripley can move over to maybe SmackDown.
No. Because Rhea's now got a feud with Mercedes Martinez.
And that's true, yeah, and that's the other thing, because Robert Stone said he's not done. They're not the brand. Robert Stone brand is not done with Rhea Ripley. So, okay, there's a lot. I mean, Nikki Cross is still out there, so she can try to get maybe one more shot at Bayley. I don't know. But nonetheless,
Mickie James is coming back tonight on Raw, so
ooh, okay.
Mickie and Bayley could be fun.
Yeah, totally. Ooh, okay. Well, we'll see how this plays out. I'm looking forward to this week's episode of SmackDown. And then we saw Heavy Machinery taking on Miz and Morrison, just kind of payback. I guess Otis was pissed off at the Dirt Sheet segment earlier in the night, which the thing is, he says he was pissed off. He was the most upset he's ever been. But yeah, he comes out to the ring still dancing and gyrating. And it's like, dude, if you're upset and want to defend your woman's honor, like, come out to the ring, like, pissed off and stomp your way to the ring. Like, I just don't get why.
Especially since you're not in front of a real crowd.
Yeah. You're not playing up to anyone. It's just the trainings around the ringside. But yeah, if you're pissed off and they say this is the maddest Otis has ever been, show it when you're coming out to the ring. And even when you actually enter the ring, and your whole demeanor in that match should be like going mad crazy. Instead, he's still being the lovable goofball. And I love Otis, but that doesn't make sense. So anyway, it's just those little details. I think people either forget on creative or whoever. But it's like, okay, you say you're really upset. Go out there and show that to everyone. So,
yeah, it's continuity.
And then Mandy comes running out, takes on Sonya. We see Mandy with her short haircut now. Just thoughts, Richard, on her short haircut?
That was the best part of the show. Tommy, I think Mandy should wrestle in her street clothes all the time.
Yeah, Tommy, what do you think of Mandy in her new short haircut?
It's a good look for her.
Yeah, she's rocking it. I know she's making a joke. She's like a soccer mom now or something.
Hot soccer mom.
Yeah, dude, that's a trophy wife for an older guy or something. But no, she looked great, but yeah, she looked badass too, coming out and just kicking Sonya Deville's ass. So I don't know if they officially made a match yet for SummerSlam, but I'm assuming it's either probably Mandy versus Sonya or maybe 3-on-3. So Heavy Machinery and Sonya. I'm sorry, and Mandy versus Sonya and Miz and Morrison, if I had to guess. So that's my early prediction what that match is probably going to play out for SummerSlam. And then that match ended, and all of a sudden, they're fighting in the back, and we see the little SmackDown logo when it's like the end of the show. But yeah, I looked, and we're still like 5 minutes left in the episode. The lights start going dark, and then all of a sudden we hear Michael Cole and Corey Graves says, like, what's going on? Oh my God, here's Retribution. They're coming out to the ring, and they start going crazy with their bats and their weapons and start banging the walls and hitting things and yelling and screaming, threatening people. And someone brought a chainsaw out. They cut the ropes, the ring ropes. They beat up one of the ladies outside. And
we didn't cover this on the Monday show. I mean, they also were throwing Molotov cocktails at the power thingy,
power generator.
The performance center. So
I like Richard. I'm curious to hear what your take.
You texted me very unhappy.
and I could tell you seeming to be into it. I just thought it was kind of goofy. The fact they're shouting and yelling, they just sound like immature teenagers, and also just the fact that the men who appear to be the men in these hoodies and ski masks, like they look really short, like under 5 feet tall, so they don't look intimidating at all. And just the way they're acting, yelling, they're just like immature, like kids. And like if you're trying to be like this badass faction. Like any protesters or whoever, they do their thing and they run off. They don't like create a big scene. They're like, hey, look at me, I'm here. And I don't know.
It's WWE Antifa.
I guess. I mean, I guess they're trying to take what's going on in current events and apply it to a storyline here. I just don't know if I fully buy into it yet. Just because I know what's going on in the real world with Antifa and the protests. I mean, that's very serious business, and for some much bigger issues out there in the world right now. And I'm just on the fence on WWE trying to use that to their advantage to make a storyline. And I just hopefully they just don't mock it too much and just. I don't know. I'm just kind of really torn about the whole thing. But like, tell me what you thought about that whole last segment.
Here's what I liked about it.
Okay.
Because when I was watching Raw, I was taking notes on it, and I see this happen, and I write down, okay, it's 4 guys and a girl.
Okay.
All right? And I'm kind of like you. I can't tell who they are.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell size. I can't tell anything. And then WWE posted on their Instagram, like, just an isolated clip of that. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's actually 2 guys and 3 girls.
Okay.
And then on SmackDown, I couldn't even tell how many people there were there. So what I liked about it is I can't tell who the hell it is.
Yes.
Because I went through all the there was a rumor that it's all the guys or the people that got released.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. So I go and I check a list I made of all the people that did get released. And I'm like, everyone's gone. Like, they've all been hired somewhere else. Minus Rusev and Aiden English.
And Bennett, Mike Bennett. Or
Mike Bennett.
Mike Kanellis.
But they're not coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I'm watching SmackDown, and the one guy grabs the camera, and you can tell he's black. And I'm like, he's not short enough to be Leo Rush.
Okay.
But he is short enough to be Xavier Woods.
Okay.
And then William was telling me that apparently there's a clip, might be off the internet now, but when they attacked Jesse Kamea outside the ring, you could see underneath the mask that there was curly hair coming out, which people are saying it might be Vanessa Bourne.
Yep. Yeah.
2 of the guys that were out there apparently might be the boys from Ring of Honor.
Oh.
With Dalton Castle.
Really?
So I don't know who it is, and that's what I like about it, because I'm like watching it with really close eyes, trying to figure it out, because I'm looking at their hands, I'm looking for tattoos, I'm looking for anything.
Yeah.
So I'm invested in the mystery.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, so there's a lot of rumors. Apparently, even Dave Meltzer came out today and said the lineup that you saw on that Friday night episode of SmackDown, that's not going to be the final group that gets revealed. So whoever was out there running around, they're just fill-ins. and till they finally figure out who the final lineup's going to be, and for the big reveal, it's going to be a different group. Because I was just laughing. I was like, I'm watching them run around the ring, and they're spraying like WWE and like spray paint and like putting an X through it, and like someone was trying to spray paint stuff, and it wasn't coming. No paint was coming out. And they were just yelling around, and I was like looking at them. I was like, between all of them and their height, like you can easily get all the WWE champions, Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Keith Lee, Walter, they're all big hosses. The four of them could come out and just beat the S out all of them. Like they just don't look intimidating.
Well, that's the thing though, because I couldn't tell how many women there were.
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's weird, because it's like, I felt like on Monday and on Friday, like there was maybe 3 guys and maybe 4 girls by Friday. So it's like, okay, like what kind of a faction is this going to be if there's like, if the women outnumber the men? That's different.
Yeah, and there's some rumors now. Yeah, like you said, one rumor is like, oh, maybe it's the people, that were let go and they're pissed off. They're coming back. That's their retribution they're looking for.
But that's been kiboshed.
And then the other one is...
That's kiboshed now, though.
Yeah, well, the other one, too, is Dominic Dijakovic's been rumored to come to the main roster. He blacked out his whole Twitter, I think. The other rumor is Ciampa as well. He blacked out his whole Twitter as well. I'm just a little bit bummed whoever is in this group, it's going to be kind of a letdown. I don't want them to botch this, and I feel bad whoever's in this lineup of this faction. Hopefully there's not too much of a stank left on them because of this. I know they're just doing their job, but I'm worried that whoever it is, it's going to be a letdown, and I'm worried that this faction is going to be kind of a failure, and everyone involved is going to suffer because of this, and when they don't deserve it. I mean, I hate to be a downer.
We haven't seen anything yet.
I know, and that's what
you're already predetermined that this is bad.
I know.
It's just started.
I want to be optimistic. And especially in today's day of pro wrestling, where I think there's just a lot of negative fans out there and commentary on things. And it's been tough with no fans in attendance. This pandemic is getting to everyone. I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's just when I see this, it just didn't necessarily grab me. It was definitely a callback to the Nexus. What Nexus did, I can't believe 10 years ago now, when they debuted and tore the ring apart. At least when they came out, they were members of NXT. They wanted to be the next generation, or they said they're the stars of WWE. So I don't know. I
think that's part of why. They did it the way they did it, though, because you couldn't do that in an arena. You can't run out there and cut the ropes with a chainsaw and swing at fans with a baseball bat and spray paint the arena, because, there might be something there the next night at the arena, and the arena people might say no. So at least at the Performance Center, they've got full range to literally do whatever they want.
True.
Within, legal bounds.
Yeah. So, okay. All right, Richard, I will follow your lead and be more optimistic of this situation.
Let's see who it leads to first.
Okay.
So that's all, because it could turn. I think it could be related to the hacker thing,
and that's the other thing too. Yeah,
possibly,
because the hacker thing kind of got dropped after WrestleMania, and this is a way they can easily connect it, because it was someone wearing a hoodie, the hacker. So maybe there's a way of kind of recycling that storyline as well. I don't know. Like I said, I want to be optimistic that this is something good, but it was a little bit of a downer.
Were you one of those people that saw? Were you one of those people that saw that it might be the Undisputed Era and you got your hopes up?
No, was that a rumor that they might be?
Okay. That was a rumor, and I didn't even see it anywhere, but I saw people complaining on Monday that it wasn't that.
Really? Interesting.
Because there was 5 people.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was just like, the Undisputed Era are doing things at NXT.
Yeah.
Why would they be switching to Raw now?
Yeah,
so,
that's weird. But but Undisputed Era, they're busy. But yeah, I saw Vanessa Bourne. I saw Chelsea Green also rumored as well. So I could see that easy. Yeah, it just be curious to see who's the faction going to be what's their motivation, why are they doing this, and then how they carry out with it. Like, what's the
and
plans?
who hasn't been on TV?
Yeah.
Who hasn't been on TV since COVID? So, or an injury list. You know, Sami Zayn. This could be Sami Zayn's thing.
Oh,
which would be kind of cool for him to have his own faction of people. Because, you know, if you follow Sami Zayn on social media, he's very much an equal opportunist of all races, people, and sexes. And, you know, there was a lot of women out there. He could be saying, you know, it's time to give these women a chance and these guys a chance. And it could be all people from Ring of Honor. And
I like that. Sami Zayn, that's a good one. I've not heard at all. That's all right. We're documenting this. Richard, you said Sami Zayn. You heard it here first on In The Kliq by way of Richard, Sami Zayn. I like that one. Interesting. All right. Well, all right. We'll see how this plays out. Here's the thing. I saw some people tweet out, you know, it's because no one tuning in. It's our fault, the WWE universe, as fans. This is WWE is trying to figure out how to get ratings up. So they're just coming up with crazy stuff. That's why we see Raw Underground. We see Retribution existing now. I mean, you know, they're trying.
But it worked.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting people to talk.
It worked last week.
And then here's the other thing too, is I'm just worried, you know, if too many people hate on these type of storylines, it's really just going to hurt wrestling more as a whole. Like people wanting to keep tuning back in. I don't know. Like I said, I want to be optimistic. I'm gonna follow your lead, Richard. You're gonna be my positive influence now.
Listen to In The Kliq and tell your friends to listen to In The Kliq because we're the voices of reason.
I like that.